Hello there, this is Rom Wills coming back at you with yet another podcast. You still have to turn her on. Look, and I see this a lot with some guys, right? You know, you get a cat like me who will say, "Hey, you really need to hit the gym." Or you get a cat like Kevin Samuels who say, "Look, you need to get that style together," right? You know, and there's always some pushback. There's always some pushback from some guy who will say, "Well, I don't need to do all that." They talk about all their personality traits and stuff, right? And the personality traits, they'll say, I'm a loyal, I'm smart, all that stuff, right? Here's what the issue is with a lot of these guys. And they are genuinely good people. They're good human beings. That doesn't turn on a woman sexually. Fellas, understand one thing. And let's look at it from my point of view. Let's look at it from my point of view so you really understand. There are a lot of women out here who will make you a good wife. No ifs, ands, and buts. Will make you a good wife. You know what? You could talk to them. They'll cook for your ass. All of that stuff. But you ain't going to want to mess with them because they 300 pounds. Or you ain't going to want to mess with them because they have an unfortunate face. Right? Or you know what? They don't have those big breasts. Oh, I'm sorry. I got to say it properly. Breastises. Or, that fat badunk, flat stomach, killer legs, body. Or, their clothing style look like there's no reflective surfaces in their damn house. Like they got zero style, like zero sex appeal. And there's plenty of women like that. There's plenty of women who got that, but y'all know y'all don't want to mess with them. In fact, as men, we defend our right to only want to deal with very beautiful women or, women that we turned on bisexually. Now, contrary to something that was generally thought of as like normal, women need the same thing. Understand, women have two basic needs from a man. Two basic needs, two things that's going to attract them to a man. One is compatibility, emotional compatibility. That's why some women have friends in the friend zone. But two, it's that carnal thing. They need to look at a man. They need to look at a man and her vagina tingles. They need to be physically turned on by a man. That's the thing. And I've talked about this in Nice Guys and Players. I talked about this in any of my books. I talk about this. A woman, you still have to turn her on. And as my mentor, I've mentioned Master Yao a lot. He said this in his book, A Mummerer. He said what men have to do is learn that the proper behavior or proper posture for a man socially is not the same thing for a man sexually. Like, it's all right to be like a, good person, have some good character and all of that. It's all right. And in fact, there are many women who wish they meet guys like that and they wish they could find that man sexually attractive. But it's nature. You can't look. Nobody beats nature. A woman has to be physically attracted to that man. Now, of course, I'm on record as telling women not to focus solely on that. Right? And just to be clear, because some women see me, I got some videos out saying it. I've only said that a woman can't focus on it solely because they get in trouble. Neither can a man. But it's 50% of the equation. And you got to have that balance. In fact, the relationships that work the best have a balance. They have a balance of that emotional value compatibility and just some raw lust. That's why you get couples who like really making it work. They look like they ready to have sex in the middle of like some floor or like a public floor, public space. They can't keep their hands off each other, but they still laughing and talking and everything. You got to have that. And see what's happening with a lot of guys, especially a lot of nice guys. They have the virtues, they have the personality traits and all of that. But those traits just make them cool to talk to. But a lot of times they would have to, they need to change some other things. In fact, I had mentioned Master Yao in his book of Mumura. He had a scenario called Charles the Invisible Man. And at first, Charles, this guy, he was a nice guy. And now he had a lot going for him. He had a good corporate job. Very nice guy. And there was a story Master Yao told in that, right? It's about this woman he was trying to get with, Elaine. Right? Now, he was doing all this stuff for Elaine, right? And there was even a point in there where he said, Charles, the nice guy, helped Elaine put together some exercise equipment, right? Put together some exercise equipment, some in her place, one of those things she could stay at home, do her stuff, right? But he still didn't get any play from Elaine, even though he wanted Elaine and he told her. Elaine told, he didn't know that Elaine was messing with this player type, this bad boy type, Joe. Right? And Joe came over to the place after Charles assembled the exercise equipment. Joe came over to the place and had sex with Elaine on the exercise equipment. And the issue was, hey, she was cool with Charles to do stuff, values, emotional stuff. As Alan Roger Curry would say, non-sexual companionship. But when it was time to have sex, she had sex with this other dude. Right? And the story with Charles actually gets better because at some point there was shall we say, an intervention. And Charles, instead of, being that good guy that church mothers like and helping everybody, he started focusing on himself. So he started taking Kung Fu. He started hitting the gym. And then he started really doing some stuff, including taking some herbs and stuff to bring out his aggressive nature. Like women, I'm gonna tell you something now. A lot of times, women want that. They want that carnal thing. All right. In fact, I had older women say that. Older women, you think they like Grandmama and Nana, and they'll say these guys out here need to be more rough. Women respond to that. They respond to that on a primal level. See, a lot of guys try to put it down and try to say, oh, we're civilized. No. You have it there. Sex is still primal. People try to say it's in the head or anything. You can't logic a woman into wanting you. You can't do it. You still got to turn her on. And really, that when I say a primal thing, that's a primal thing. It's not even a word thing. A lot of people, like using the word mouthpiece, and that's important. But words don't turn on a woman. There's no way of words by themselves. What turns on the woman is she's looking at this dude. She has an attraction for him, a sexual attraction for him. And then the words just negotiate where the sex is going to happen at. That's a real talk. She gotta look and want to fuck the dude before anything come out of his mouth. And really, a lot of times, a lot of dudes need to try to be quiet and don't say too much. A lot of dudes talk their way out of sex. But the bottom line is, you still have to turn her on. Yeah, all those traits are good if y'all gonna have a long-term relationship. But just the nature of how it is out here, women get a lot of guys if they're attractive, they get a lot of guys coming for them. So they're gonna pick according to which one is sexy. You might be that type who, is a mentor to kids in the neighborhood and everything. But that's not going to turn her on sexually. And you still have to do it. A lot of guys got to do it. If anybody looks at my books, everything in my books, everything in my instructional books is geared towards a man increasing his sex appeal to women. Everything. I don't have any pickup lines in my books. I don't have any pickup lines. And if a man, and I'm gonna tell you what, the more a man increases his sex appeal, that carnal thing, he got the body, he got the style, he got the attitude. Women will find ways to come at him. Women will find ways to come at him, because that's my thing. That's my thing. If you're going to say different dating coaches have different things, my thing is increasing your sex appeal. Because the more you do it, the more women gonna find their way to you. You could be sitting in a corner. As people who follow me know, I always use the example of buffalo wings. You could be sitting over in a corner eating buffalo wings and get it. And that's some true stuff. That's some true stuff. For people who remember from DC, who remember Zanzibar, particularly when it was over there by the White House. I used to go in there just for happy hour. That was my Friday dinner. They had like their buffet and stuff. I go in there and I would be sitting there in a corner eating my buffalo wings. Women would come over to me. You know, it didn't hurt that I walked through there like I was Denzel though. So you still have to turn it on, fellas. Everything else, if you can master and get in touch with your sexual side, trust me, that would do more to turn on a woman than whatever words are coming out your mouth and whatever is in your bank account or what car you driving. That's why you get some broke dudes got more women than they know what to do with, got women staying with them because they hitting them on that carnal level. All right. So anyway, that's it for today, y'all. I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.